Happy Sunday, Beady Besties. How are you guys? I hope you're all doing well. We're doing pretty good today, my friends. A little bit wet and soggy here in Tennessee, but that's okay because that is actually the inspiration for today's projects. But we will get into those in a second. First, let's get to our good word of the day. Guys, I also want to mention we have a lot of new friends here at the channel recently, and I just thank you guys so much for being here. I just want to let you know I appreciate you being here. I'm very accessible. I'm very, if you leave comments, I will answer. We just like to have a good time here, my friends. I like to say that we're not, building rocket ships, but we are building inspiration and we are building just a magical, loving, kind community over here. So I'm so glad that you're here. And something that we do is we pull a card of wisdom before every video, to honor our beautiful friend, Miss Wendy, and also because it's a really cool thing to do. All right, my friends, let's check out today's good word. Everyone dies, but not everyone really lives. That is a very interesting words of wisdom today, because I'm going to tell you, tomorrow I'm going to start fitness boot camp, so I might die. But who knows? But no, I totally get this message and I do appreciate it. And that's a beautiful message. And my friends, we are trying to live, right? We are trying to live our best lives. Sometimes we have to do hard things, but it's all worth it, because just if you think about it, if everything was easy, then what's the point? Wouldn't be a whole lot of fun, right? I don't know. Anyway, friends, we're doing kind of easy earrings, We're not doing anything hard today. We are doing an earring challenge. We are doing an earring blitz. I mean, it can be a challenge. If y'all want to challenge me to do something, we'll do it. But we are working with, look how pretty. I'm going to call these April showers. We are working with the new April Bargain Bead Box, which I believe is April showers. So let me bring out the bead mat. So this is just a cute little April showers design. You guys know I had to do a little dangle cluster. It is what I do the best here, I think. It's one of my favorite things anyway. But for these guys, what you will need, let's pull out our little ingredients. You're going to need, now, friends, don't let this scare you. There is going to be a lot of wrap loops. So if you are new, hopefully you're a new friend here and you're working on your wrap loops, this is a great project to do that. So you're going to need 2 of these cloud shells. Let me just get my ingredients over here, because some of this stuff, guys, I put together already for time's sake and all that. Because I've got 3 pairs of earrings today that I want to get through, hopefully in an hour. But we'll see. It'll take me 2 hours just to organize this mess. Okay, so there we have our dangle doos. These are already done. We'll do these 2 together. And then we've got some jump rings. So what you're going to need is, you're going to need 2 of these clouds. You're going to need 24. We are putting 12 on each earring of these 4mm. I think they're like a Malaysian jade quartz, whatever that is. And I think that's what that is. And we are using 24 head pins. I have chosen to go with a ball style head pin because those are my favorite. We also need 2 ear wires, and we are going to need 2 pieces of 4-inch pieces of 22 gauge wire. Also, friends new to the channel, that's my chair. It squeaks sometimes because it's broken, and I just haven't had the money to replace it yet, but that's okay, because guess what, guys? I ordered my new desk. My new desk will be here on Tuesday. That's super exciting, because then I can set up my computer. All right, so basically what we're going to start now is we're going to make ourselves a little link with this cloud, right? And you notice how the cloud is not moving or spinning. That's because we did that little wire treatment there on the back to keep her from spinning around. So we will do that with this, unless you want her to spin around. That's completely up to you guys. I am just here to facilitate some ideas, and you guys can go ahead and run with them. All right, how many did we say we needed here? 4 inches, right? Okay. We're going to get us tools would help, my friends. Tools would help. You're just going to need your basic tools, and my cutters are not in here. Where are my cutters? Are you serious right now? This is not looking good for our new friends. They're like, oh my God. I can't find my other cutters, so we're just going to use our busted can of biscuit cutters today. I mean, I probably could wheel myself over there and get my cutters, but I probably will do that at some point, but I just want to cut this wire. Okay. All right. Let me roll over, my friends. This is a real casual here today. Where are my cutters? My good cutters are missing, my friends. I don't know where they're at. So now we got these cutters. Look, y'all see what I did? Look at that little hole. It's a perfect hole from cutting memory wire. Don't do that, my friends. Don't do it. Okay. So you are also going to need, and we're going to straighten this wire, so I'm going to grab one of those. And you are also going to need round nose pliers. So we're going to grab some of those. And you're also going to need bent chain nose pliers. That's what I use. If you guys don't use those, that's fine. You can use whatever pliers. I'm also going to use some regular chain nose pliers. And I think that is about it, my friends. Oh, I also have I'm probably going to use these instead. I like these a little bit better for this project. All right, so first what I'm going to do is I'm just going to straighten my wire out a little bit. Right? I hope this is a big enough piece of wire. I thought 4 inches in my, we'll see. We'll see, my friends. We'll see. It might be, we might need 5 inches. I don't know. We'll see. We'll learn together. That's what we do here. We learn together, my friends. Sorry about all the extra noise. Also, guys, I have a fan in here because the weather, it's gotten a little bit cooler, guys. It was like 90 degrees yesterday. It was insanity. But it's so humid. I don't really think that's going to be a big enough piece of wire, guys. Let's cut ourselves a 5-inch piece of wire. Because the 4 inches might be enough, but I'm not comfortable with, I like a little extra wire, just like I like French fries and pizza. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to cut my wire here. I like it to be extra. I like it to be extra. Okay. So we've cut ourselves a 5-inch piece of wire here, just to be safe. Guys, the 4-inch, like I said, you know. But it's all right. Okay, it's just wire. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to, like I said, we're going to make a link here. So we're going to go down about 1/3 of the way. And we're going to bend that wire right over our pliers. And then we're going to bring our round nose pliers in. And we are going to create ourselves a loop. It doesn't matter. This is the bottom, the top, however you want to do. And then I'm going to switch hands. And I'm going to take this wire, make sure we're centering that up. That's looking really nice. Then I'm going to just take this tip and I'm going to just wrap. And I'm going to do 2 wraps. Okay. Just two nice little wraps here. And then we'll take our cutters and we will cut. We will slicing and dicing in. There we go. Okay, now we're just going to tuck in our little friend here. That was not the tightest. It was not the tightest set of wraps there, Carl. There we go. That's looking better. I'm just going to come in here and kind of just put those little end guys down. Okay. It's not real important because we are going to be taking the wire around here again and we're going to create, like, you know, this little here. It's not a chunky wrap, but that's what it's going to look like, hopefully. Hopefully when we're done here, that's what it looks like. Okay, so now we're going to slide our cloud on, and I believe I'm going to use this as the bottom because I think that looks like the bottom. I think this looks more like the top because it's kind of like that, you know, real scientific. All right, so then we're going to take our pliers and we're going to make another bend up here, and we're going to be going the same exact way. Let me just straighten this guy out here. Okay. We're going to be going the same exact way, the loop, as the one that we just created, except we're going to make this one, we're going to create a little bit more space in here. So now when you take your pliers, usually your pliers are tapered, so it's a little bit smaller here, and as it goes up further, as you can see, it gets thicker. So the higher up on your tool that you take that you put the wire with your pliers, the more space you'll create. And then that'll be the more wraps that you have in there. So we're going to go about right here. Going to bend that wire over. And then we are just going to make a wrap loop here. And I can see I'm already a little bit off on that bend, which is fine because I can show you how to fix that, guys. It's real easy to have your loops all go in the same way. Okay. Switching hands. We're going to come over here and we are going to center all of this up so that is looking nice. Okay. If you want, right here, if you want to go ahead and take your pliers and get your loops together like that, or you can wait until you're done. It's completely up to you. Okay. It's just a little easier to do it now since we're taking the wire back. Okay. Now see, I'm taking this wire back. Okay. And then what I've done is on the on the last wrap on the back here, or it can be this side, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what side. Pick a side, my friends. I think that's looking good there. Okay. I'm going to take this wire, and what I did was I just put it down on the back of the bead, and I just smushed it down as flat as it will go. Okay. As flat as it will go. And now we're going to take this end, and we're just going to come around here, keeping it very tight to the bead. Just wrap it around once, right? And that will secure our guy in there. We'll come back here, and we'll cut that. Ma'am, we have company today. And then we're just going to very carefully, guys, because these clouds are shell, and I thought I almost broke one last night. I was heartbroken, but I didn't break it, thank God. But guys, be very, very careful here with your pliers and all that stuff. Okay. So again, if you think you're a little askew, get yourself 2 pairs of pliers on both the loops and kind of hold your like that. Now we're gonna just slide that cloud so he's front and center. Yeah, that's what you'll have. All right, so this is the top. Or it could be the bottom, whatever. I've chosen for this to be the top. So now we're going to just do our dangles. And that was really the hardest part. This is all easy stuff. It's very repetitious. Sorry, guys, I'm just wiping my glasses off because it's so humid in here. I don't understand. Like yesterday it was 90 degrees and it was hot, but it wasn't humid, I guess because of all the rain. And today it's like 60 something, but I feel like I'm in the tropical rainforest of somewhere, of the magical hippopotamuses. I don't know. I'm somewhere in some magical rainforest. I'm not seeing any animals yet, just a bunch of cats. I mean, I guess they can be exotic, right? Oh my God, where's your hole, my friend? So now we're just going to put these guys, we're going to be making wrap loops. Now I know a lot of times we will do simple loops in these kind of clusters. However, sorry guys, looking for my pliers. However, I thought wrap loops are really pretty here because it gives us this little bit of silver, right? And the little bit of silver can just, I don't know, it just makes it sparkle. We have that really sparkly umbrella, and I just thought the wrap loops just kind of made it look a little extra special. But you're going to have to do a lot of wrap loops. But the cool thing with the wrap loops are we don't have to worry about connecting them to anything. We can just make wrap loops, right? That's all. And like I said, if you're new to making your wrap loops, then this is a really great exercise. So I just took that and I bent it over, and I'm just going to do like I did with the clouds. I'm going to put my pliers in here. We don't need terribly large loops. We're going to take that wire over, spin it around, bring that over to this side. I will switch hands to my dominant hand, which is my right hand here. This is my wrapping pimp hand. So I like to switch it over. And this is really thin wire, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to finger wrap this. And guys, we're making nice, of course, as I'm saying, we're making nice wraps. That wrap was awful. We're making nice wraps in here. We're not doing anything chunky or anything crazy. That one went a little ugly, but that's okay. As I'm saying, we're making nice, clean wraps, my friends. And the wrap was like, no, we ain't. We're having a party. This is an ugly wrap. I don't have an extra eye pin, do I? See, sometimes I will give myself an extra eye pin, or head pin rather, in case I do an ugly wrap like that. But we'll just stick this one in the cluster in the middle and no one will know. That's how you do it, guys. If you have an ugly wrap and you don't feel like redoing it, that's all right. Stick it in the middle. Nobody will know. All right, there she is. All right, let's try to finesse this one a little bit. My hands are like sweaty because it's so humid in here. Oh my gosh. And I can't open my window because it's raining, and the way the rain's coming, it's coming right in my window. So I can't have it open. My desk is right in front of my window, so that would probably not be good to have rain coming in here on us. But it is, oh my God, my glasses are so foggy right now. All right, my friends, let's do this one the right way. Oh, there she goes. There she goes. You can use your tools, guys. You don't have to finger wrap. You can use your tools. All right, let's cut this one. Guys, my third pair of earrings, it is using It is using the box, but we're going to be using one of those components that I got in my last Bead Box Bargains haul. Guys, be careful closing this too. I mean, this is a gemstone, but you can still break gemstones. Okay, there we go. And so now we have all of our little dangle-doos, and now we just have to put them together. So I have chosen, what size jump rings did I use here? Did I even write the jump rings down? Oh yeah, 10 4mm jump rings. Okay, so we're gonna do 5 on each. Now guys, the most important thing when you're doing clusters with a dangle, with a drop here at the bottom, because we kind of want everything to line up, right? So what I kind of do is I try to, like, this is how I decide what my cluster is going to be. I will just count jump rings. So this is front facing, this is front facing. So we need these to connect. So these are both front facing. So I will do like front facing, and then I'll put a jump ring. So that's one going this way. Then we'll do this way, then this way, and then this way, and then this way. So you want to make sure you end with a jump ring that goes this way. So this can all, I hope that made sense. I know it wasn't real technical, but I'll show you. Let's do it together and make examples. I also did just a couple, like 1 1 1 1, and then up here I did 2 of 4. So this way it kind of, it's really fat at the top, and then it kind of trickles down. Okay, so we are going to grab our first jump ring. Oh my goodness, that was a bobo hair. Okay. And then we're going to connect our umbrella. Now our umbrella is going to get its own jump ring, but you have to, you know, keep that jump ring in the order. So when you decide how many jump rings that you need to get everything lined up, and then you can, you know, then you can decide what you're putting on those jump rings. Okay, that's jump ring 1, and we are using a series of 5 here. And these are small. You can use bigger ones. I just use the smaller ones because I kind of wanted a tighter cluster. That will also, if you use bigger jump rings, that will make your cluster a little bit longer, a little bit more, you know. You can switch this up in so many different ways just by adding, you know, little touches. So we're just going to put one on each side, one of these little quarts on each side of this jump ring. Oh, you know what? I didn't bring over... I usually like to bring over a little extra head pin or something so I can save my place here. Let me see if I have anything. Oh, I do have this piece of wire. Okay. So I'm going to put this little piece of wire in there. See how that worked out, my friends? Like I couldn't use that piece of wire, but then now I can use it. So there was a reason I cut it, I guess. I don't know. I like to look at things that way, you know? Like there's a reason behind a lot of stuff. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this jump ring and I'm going to insert it here into this jump ring, and I'll let that wire fall out. And then we're going to put on our next 2. Alrighty, and then we're going to close that guy up. Making sure that is very closed. I will sometimes give it a little tap up here. Okay. I am seeing a little slice of daylight, and I am not having it, my friends. I am not having it. Okay. Putting our wire, laying that down nice and flat, and then we'll start our next. So what is this? Jump ring 3? Is it jump ring 3? Huh, wait a second. Maybe I miscounted jump rings. You know, it's not. Maybe I did. I don't know. We'll see. We'll count together. I might have got the jump ring count wrong. You know, I probably wasn't counting the one on the umbrella. That's probably what I did last night. It was a long night, my friends. It was a long night. We're going to put 2 on each side now. So now we're fattening up our little cluster. And then we'll count jump rings when we're done. Okay. All right. But again, if you wanted a smaller dangle, you could just do less jump rings or bigger jump rings. Okay, now this is going to be our last one. And this guy's got a really, really, really important job. So not only is he holding all the dangles, but he's also holding the cloud. This is the MVP jump ring right here, my friends. Okay. All right. And like I said, these earrings are really easy. It's just a matter of you know what I mean, my friends. I'm about to say reputation. Repetitive. It's about repetitive motions and you know, just doing the components. But once you have them together, now here's, we want to make sure that our cloud, because we do have a front and a back, we want to make sure that that's all even Stevens and that the front is where the front should be. Man. Oh my gosh, you guys. All right. And hold on a second. Okay. And there we have it. Now we just got to put on our ear wire, which is, I've chosen to go with one of these, are my favorite soft flex ear wires. I just thought, because we have little ball head pins, I just thought that little ball element would be cool. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to gently squeeze that down. Guys, I don't press that down too much. I just enough to close it. And there we have it. So this is our April showers, sir, miss, ma'am. This is our April showers. Oh my gosh, you guys. There they go. I'm trying to get the umbrellas to hang in the same way. There's our April showers earrings. And let's count jump rings. So it looks like, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. It is 5, guys. I was right. Are you serious? I was right. Where did I get 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I'm seeing 5. So we're going to call it at 5. But yeah, those are super cute. I love them so much. All right, let's put those to the side. Now, my friends, okay. Last night, it was super booming. It was thundering like crazy. I didn't go to sleep until 6 o'clock this morning. So I'm a little punchy today, my friends. I'm a little punchy. So I am going to lovingly refer to this earring, and it's quite possibly one of my favorite earrings ever. We're going to call this one Tennessee Thundercloud, okay? This is what we got. She's a whole lot going on here. I think it's gorgeous, so let's make this one. So as you can see, we're using all of our thunderbolts, we're using the teardrops, and we're also using more of the quartz. Okay. Let me get my ingredients here. Oh, I did have, look, I did bring, oh no, I didn't. Those are jump rings. Okay. So what we have here now, guys, this one's a little bit more finicky, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll figure it out together. We have 2 ear wires. We have 2 of these clouds. We have, how many? 20 head pins. Okay. We also have a bunch of 3mm jump rings. We have a bunch of these drops. So we have 10 of these drops. And we have 10 of the quartz. And we have 10 of the lightning bolts. So those we have to do together. There's our eye pins. Here's our little lightning bolts. And we're using some chain. So, how I prepared my chain, and again, this is completely customizable. I did 2 pieces of chain for each hole. So let me get my chain here together so I can see what size is what. So what we want to do is we're cutting 5 pieces of chain, and I did decide to do, I think that is that inner chain. Let's see if that's the same size. Okay, these are the 2 secondary chains. Let's see if this one's the same size. Okay, inner chain. Sorry, we're just gonna figure this out real quick. Inner chains, and then we have our one. We should have one long chain for the middle. Where is the long chain? Why is all that? Maybe this is the long chain. These 2 chains are the same. Did I not cut the long chain? Oh my gosh, you guys. Did I not cut the long chain? I'm not sure. But anyway, I will find the long chain. Maybe this is not the long chain. That goes there, that goes there. Oh, maybe this is the long chain. I think this is the long chain. Some of them are a little similar, so we have to make sure which is the long chain. I believe this is the long chain. Okay. And then these are the 2 outer chains, and these are the 2 inner chains. So we have our shorter chains on the outer. So we have to cut 4 of the outer chains and then 4 of the inner chains for each earring, because 2 for each earring. There's 2 earrings, so you got to cut 4 of those pieces, and then 2 of your longer middle pieces. Now I also did the drops on a separate chain. So we have 2 chains here. So we have the chain with the thunderbolt, and then we have the chain with the teardrop. So what I did is I took a piece of this chain, and how I figured out my lengths. Let's do the second to this one. I laid out my chain, and I took so I know my thunderbolt is going to be the bottom. Excuse me, Mike. So I would put this here, and then I would see where I want it. So that's going to be here, because there's going to be a jump ring about right there. So then I took my teardrop, and I decided, where do I want my teardrop to be? Like, how do I want this hanging situation? And so I liked it about here, and that is 2 links. So then I went and I cut 2 links. So there's the 1 link, the 1 2 link section, and then I cut another 2 link section. Okay. And then I did the same thing. So now what I did was I cut 2 extra links of the next chain. I cut 2 extra from this one. So I knew, because we were doing a taper down. And then I took my next, so I did my drop, put my drop there, or my lightning bolt there. And then I decided, and then I cut myself this. So this is a 4 link piece. I think that's the 4 link piece. And then I just cut a 6 link piece. So I kind of did 2 links, right? You can do the measuring, or you can count links. It's really up to you. So then I did a 6 link for that one. All right, my friends, I hope that made a little bit of sense. My brain, I know, doesn't always make sense, and we also need a whole mess ton of 3mm jump rings. Are these the 3mm? Oh no, we wanted the 4. Do we want the 3 or the 4? No, we're doing the 3. That's right. Okay. Sure, Kyle, make it challenging. We're going to need a whole mess of those. So, let's get started, my friends. Let's get started. Okay, where are my pliers? All right, so how I got started was and I probably should have done this portion, because this might take us a little while. I might fast forward us a little bit, because these are really small jump rings, and it takes me a while to see them and close them. But I just want to show you what we're going to do here. And you can, of course, use bigger jump rings if you want. So for this one, I'm just going to attach my thunderbolt and then my chain. And I'm going to do that for all of these. Okay, so we have that. And then for our 2 guy here, we're going to, now listen, it was a long night last night. It would probably be easier just to open these up. And I think that's what I'm going to do, actually, because in this design, I actually put jump rings in there, and I don't know why I put jump rings in there, because you don't need jump rings here. You just need to open that. And I'm going to fix the other one after this is over, and I'll take off all the jump rings for the drops, and I will just, I'll just put them right onto the, because the least jump rings, the better, right? So then we have that. So I'm going to show you also, we're going to make these together. All right. So we're going to take our head pin. Again, I've gone with a ball head pin, this time in a more stainless steel color. Actually, these are stainless steel, and I figured that would all match really nice, because the chain is stainless steel, and the cloud is stainless steel. So all of our friends are here together. So guys, we're going to be making a simple loop. So instead of taking the wire and bending it over the plier, we're going to bend the plier. But guys, listen, some of these teardrops, and these weren't the fancy briolette. Some of these had a little bit of on the struggle bus with the cracks. So I take my pliers and I just get a little bit of space in there, just not to cause any more issues. And you're just going to bend that over. And then we are going to cut ourselves about to 1/4 of an inch. You can hear that. I don't know if you heard that snap. That is a stainless steel eye pin, head pin. Okay, and we're just going to roll. And you're just going to roll. And that is ugly, I know, but that's okay, because we got to go in here and we just got to break the, oh my goodness, what was that, Gemma? We just got to come in here and break the neck. That's really ugly. There's a crack in this crystal here. That's a pretty bad crack. I don't know if I want to use this one. Well, for you know what, I'm going to get another crystal. This one's got like a kind of a really bad crack in it. I didn't notice it. It did not meet quality control sorting last night, apparently. I mean, it did meet it, but it shouldn't have. Okay, my friends, here we go. Let's pick us a nice, probably gonna, oh, I didn't bring over the eye pins either. That's okay. Let's pick us a nice crystal here. See, look, that one's not good either. That one's pretty, okay. All right, so let's go ahead and do that again. Okay. Oops, wrong pliers. There we go. And that's what you should have. Okay. Now we're going to do it for this quartz as well. I will get the other one when I'm off camera doing the other stuff. So again, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to take that and we're just going to chomp it down. And then we're just going to cut here. Not there. And then we're going to roll her up. We're going to roll that beautiful bean footage. And there we go. All right. So we've got those. All right. So I'm going to just, let me put all of these together and then we'll be right back, my friends. You still there? Oh, okay. Just checking, just checking. Okay, my friends. And we are back. Are we back? Yes. Okay. So we have gone ahead and we've attached, oh my gosh, you know what? Hold on one second. Okay, friends, I'm back this time, I promise. For continuity reasons, I did go ahead and I took these drops off of their jump rings because I think continuity is very important, especially in designing and also in teaching. So, and guys, I'm a whole teacher now, apparently. So yes, so I wanted to do that real quick. So then when we make this one, everything matches. Okay. Let us get our other pliers here, guys. I'm going to use just a little bit of thicker plier, and we are going to get some 6mm jump rings, and these are a 20 gauge. So this is a nice, oh, here comes the husband. So this is a nice, thicker gauge for this purpose, because this is going to hold a couple things. Not that these chains or anything are heavy. They're not, but I just think that's, and you have to clear a little bit here. So you want to use a little bit thicker, and you want a nice swing. You know what I'm saying? You want a nice swing. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to attach my thunderbolt. And then I'm going to attach my drop. And then I'm going to attach one of these. This guy is going on without any kind of jump ring or anything. And I'm going to pick this, this end here, put that through. And guys, you want to make sure that you're doing everything on the same side, right? So this way you don't have little blue ones getting buried in the back. And you might ask also why I chose to put the thunderbolts on the bottom instead of, you know, because usually the thunderbolts are higher and the raindrops are lower. But because there's so much silver in here, if you were to put these thunderbolts up there, I think it would just get lost in all that silver chain. So I really like it, like a dangle like this. I think that's a really good way to use those because they stand out, you know. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to open this one. And again, we're going to do our next series. So we're going to do our thunderbolt first. And then we're going to do our drop, our teardrop. I think that's the right one. We'll find out together. And we're going to do one of these blue quartzes. And then we're making sure we're doing the very next hole. Okay. Now, if you wanted to do a pair that weren't staggered and all the same length, that of course wouldn't matter. Okay. So now we're going to do our middle portion. Sorry if there's noises, guys. My husband's in the kitchen making, he's going to start dinner soon. So you might hear some dishes. I apologize. Okay. Then we attach our thunderbolt, our drop, our little raindrop, and then our other little raindrop. Okay. This is the middle. I will sometimes take my fingers and hold all of this out of the way, making sure we're going on the front. That was a little awkward looking. Okay. I love the way these jump rings, like, they nestle into each other so well. Like, it's almost like they're hand cut. I don't think they were, but they sit really nicely. All right, and now we're going to complete the other side. Here's our thunderbolt, teardrop, and blue quartz. Okay. I think that's Gemma. Gemma's out there chasing a little ball. I don't know if you can hear her running across the floor. All right, guys, and we're on the last one. I love these earrings. My husband was so funny. I showed him this morning what I made, because I always, guys, do you do that? Do you, like, just, maybe not a husband, maybe like a kid or something, or somebody that you live with, and you're just so excited you have to show them what you made? I do this every single time. My husband is always the first one to see everything that I make. But he's like, "Oh, those are great. Those are gonna, you can sell those for like $20, or I forget what he said." And I was like, "Sell them, sir? Surely you jest. These are going in my earlobes." What you're talking about selling? He's got crazy ideas sometimes, my friends. I don't know. He needs to check himself before he wreck himself. Okay. All right. Sell them. He's like, "Oh, you gotta put those in your shop." I'm gonna put you in my shop, my friend. All right, there we go. Oh, I love. Okay. So now, guys, you do want to get a nice ear wire here. So we've gone with these stainless steel hooks. So we want to make sure, because I'm always doing this the wrong way. We want to make sure that we are putting this in the right way. Yes, that's correct. It's amazing, guys. Every time I make earrings, like 8 out of 10 times I'll make earrings and I put the ear hook in the wrong way, always. All right, my friends, so here we go with our Tennessee thunderclouds. How magical are they? Oh my God, they're so playful. I wouldn't say that they're heavy, but the stainless steel clouds do have a little bit of weight to them. I wouldn't say they're overly heavy. I don't think these are going to bother me at all. But if you are somebody that's really sensitive, then maybe just do the chains and the lightning bolts and don't do the beads, and then it'll bring the weight down a little bit. I don't think that they'll be so heavy for me that they'll be uncomfortable, but for you, they might be. So that's just a way to consider taking some weight off of them. Or just take the drops off and just do the blue guys and the thunderbolts, or vice versa. These are really light. All the beads are light. It's the component that's weighty. The chain's light. Everything else is light. All right, my friends, I am going to bring you a bonus pair of earrings as soon as my OCD lets me clean this mess up. So, guys, if you watched my unboxing, I just did a small unboxing for Bargain Bee Box. I shopped the sale. I really love these Lotus flowers, and I just thought, I have to make an earring with these. And I knew I wanted to do some kind of drop. And then when I saw that we got these beautiful briolettes in, I said, yeah, I have to use that. So we're using the briolettes from the box. We're also using these from the box. The Lotus flower is, of course, from my my recent purchase. And this is a little AB bicone that was just in my stash. So let me get the ingredients on that. Oh, guys, you're also going to want to use some of those little complimentary seed beads that were, oh, excuse me, that were on our strand of, they were in with the discs. We also had some with the briolettes. I'm not sure which ones these came from, but that we were going to use some of those. Oh, that was the bicone. Okay. Oh, I thought that was the bicone. Okay. And then the bicone. Okay. We're going to get it together, my friends. We're going to get it together. So we need 2 of the connectors. We need 2 of the briolette drops. We need 4 of the fancy crystal rondelles. We need 6 of the bonus seed beads. We are going to need 2 ear wires, 2 2-inch pieces of 20 gauge wire. We're going to need 2 of the bicones, and we're also going, these are a size 4 millimeter, and we're also going to need 2 8-inch pieces of 22 gauge wire. We'll bring them back out so I can get your vote, guys. We're going to get our vote. All right. So I did do a little wire wrappy here, but you know, you really can't see it. So I really just did that for myself, I guess. And 2 jump rings. Did I mention we're going to need jump rings? Wait, do we need jump rings? Yeah. No, we don't need jump rings. I don't know why that jump ring is in here. There's our ear wire. Okay. So to start off, I'm supposed to, okay. We are going to get our 22 gauge wire. I am using the German style wire. Oh, guys, you're also going to need, if you have step bell making pliers, that's going to be really handy in this project. So I need an 8-inch piece. Oh my. All right. So how have you guys been doing? I'm sorry I haven't asked you. How are you guys? I hope you guys are good. Staying safe from the weather. I've been talking to some friends. Oh my gosh. I've been talking to some friends who had some unfortunate dealings with this weather. Guys, just know my prayers are with you, of course. It's so scary. You know, I feel so bad when I hear stories, and I'm over here just worrying about wind. And then I hear that my friends are dealing with far worse situations, and it kind of makes me feel terrible. But, you know, listen, you're scared. I mean, it's okay to be scared. You know, fear is a real thing, my friends. I never lived like this is like, I'm from Philadelphia. We don't get wind like this, but not only that, like I live around a bunch of trees and I'm in a really old mobile home. So that's like all recipes for destruction. I don't know. All right, but let's get back to this earring. All right, so I've straightened out my piece of wire. I'm going to come, I guess not quite a quarter of a way down. We're going to come to about here. Okay. And then we're going to bend that over. Now we're going to bring in our step bail making pliers because we want to make a really big loop here. These brios are a little finicky, but it's, you know, it can still move around on there. I just want to check. I'm not sure which one I used. Did I use the, okay, I used the biggest one. All right, makes sense. I forgot which mandrel I used. So I'm going to go over here to my biggest mandrel, which is this one all the way up here. We're going to take that wire up and over like we normally would, right? Bring that over here. And I really did not, well, I should have came down a little bit further on the pliers, my friends, but we're going to make it work. We only want to do like 1 or 2 wraps in here. I think we did, how many wraps did we do in here? Oh, we do need that jump ring. Look at that. Looks like two wraps. We did need that jump ring. Okay. So let's get our wraps in here in this little tiny scrumptious piece of wire, this little snacky piece of wire. We might have to cut another piece of wire. I refuse. We're going to make it work. Okay, that's good enough for me. Okay, I'm going to straighten this out before I take it. Oh my gosh, you guys. Hold on. I got to cut another piece anyway because I forgot to put the briolette on. Carl, what are you doing? I'm not really sure. I hope my new viewers stick with me. Guys, stay with me. I promise I know what I'm doing most of the time. I'm just going to cut myself another piece of wire here. Okay. I was so focused on the little piece of wire that I left myself that I totally forgot to put the brio on. Okay. Let me just straighten this wire. You talks amongst yourselves. Talks amongst yourselves real quick. Get to know each other a little bit. While I straighten this wire out. Guys, we're going to be able to start doing live soon. I'm really excited about that. So then when I tell you to talk amongst yourselves, you guys really can. Isn't that exciting? And what I love too is I see you guys in the communities, like in all the community groups and stuff. And it's like you all know each other. And I think that's so amazing that when we get into our lives, it really is like hanging out with a group of friends, right? It's like we all just know each other. It's just so cool to me. All right, guys, part 2. We're going to try this again. I'm going to bring it down a little bit further, however. I'm going to bring it to about here. Because we are making a real big loop there. All right, let's try this again. Part 2. All right, which one is the biggest one? Okay, it's that one. So we're going to put our wire through that biggest part, wrapping that over, just like we would with our other pliers. Okay. Just like that. We'll take that off the tool. And before we go and wrap that back up, let's open this a little bit. Just a little bit. And then we're going to take our brio. Now, guys, be very careful because it is a little finicky around here. So you just gotta kind of guide it down. Just gotta kind of, I find that if you do this motion, that really works. Like if you go like this instead of just dragging it down, just kind of inch it down like that. Okay. There we go. And then you'll have that. Okay. I will take these little pliers here and I will just hold them in this little crease. Not too tight, but just tight enough where I can go ahead. Oh no, I've gone awry. Okay, let's try this again. Right there. There we go. And I'm just going to delicately wrap. How many wraps did we do, Call? Oh, we did several. Let's do another one. There we go. That's what we have. So pretty, so pretty. Don't be afraid to do it, guys. It's a little finicky. It's a little finicky. I'm also not a wire wrapper expert, so I just play one on TV. All right, my friends, there we go. She's nice and tucked in. I could tuck her in a little bit better. But you know what, guys? We're going to be laying wire over that part, so it's not so important. All right, now we're going to stack up. We're going to do a seed bead, a disc, or a rondelle. I call them discs. I don't know. They are rondelles. They're both, my friends. They're both. They are such a good bead that they can be more than one. They can be whatever they want. Okay. And then the other seed bead. So this is what you'll have. Okay. Now we do want to, we're going to make a wrap loop up here. Now we do want to make sure that our loops are going in the same direction. And we're going to do about here. We don't need a terribly a lot amount of wraps. So we're going to bend that wire over. And then we're just going to make our loop. Looks like I made a smallish loop here, so it doesn't have to be a terribly big loop. Switching hands. Now this is where we're going to have some artistic fun, my friends. We're going to have some artistic fun. So we are centering that loop up, and then we're going to start our wraps. One, I think I got like 2 in here, 2 or 3. 3, okay. So now we're going to come down, and we're going to go across this bead. Now what I like to do is take this off of my plier, and then put it on this plier. And I will hold this nice and secure here at the loop. Don't squish it down too much, but this will give you a little bit of leverage. Jesus. Okay, so now I'm going to wrap this one, and I'm going to go in the middle here. And I'm actually going to do twice in the middle, covering up that seed bead. Coming around here, we're going to do another swirl. Okay. Wrapping. And now I'm going to take it off the tool now because I feel like I can hold it here And then I'm going to continue wrapping, and I'm going to completely cover this seed bead. And then I'm going to chunky wrap it down. Okay. You don't have to do that part. That's completely up to you. But I kind of like all that little bit of spirally flourishes. So yeah. And then we're going to cut. And then we're just going to gently tuck this in. We don't want to ruin our loops or anything, right? We just want to gently tuck her in. Run your finger across, still a little stabby pokey. Okay. All right, that's looking good. So this is what we have. If your loop got a little, just take this here. And I'm just going to twist that. So then these are facing how they need to face. And then that's what we have. All right, so now we're going to connect it to this guy using the jump ring. Yes, this is where the jump ring comes in. So you want to make sure your loops are facing this way, because this loop is also in the same direction as this. So then this is our go-between. And this looks to be a 6mm, oh, this is a 5mm. So we're going to go, because she's a little thick up here, so you need a little bit of a jump ring up here. I probably could have gone with a 6. Okay, and then you want to make sure you're putting this one on the right side. And then we're just going to go ahead and close that. Oh, those are not the droids I was looking for. Okay. Nice and closed. There we go. So now we have our connected. We have our Lotus connected, and now we just need a small piece of 20 gauge wire. Now you could, if you wanted to make your own ear wire, and I did try this, because this is a little bit thick, and most ear wires, the ones that we have in our stash anyway, most of them won't, the loop is not big enough because that's really thick. I did try this with my own ear wire. And then I connected the ear wire straight to the flower. I didn't love how that looked. So I kind of like this idea a little bit better. So, but you can feel free to, you know, mess around with that. So you just need a little small piece of wire here, and I am using the 20 gauge German style. And I am just going to straighten this little piece out real quick. This is like a 2-inch piece. Oh, sorry guys. I am so sorry about that. I can't wait to get my new desk so I stop hitting my light. This desk is so small that my light is just, I have like no arm room. And I'm not a small little, you know, vanilla wafer. I'm a big old chocolate chip cookie. Okay, we are extra chips. So it doesn't work for me. But my new desk is an L shape and it's huge. It's going to be so great. All right, my friends, what are we doing? Okay, so we are going to make ourselves a head pin, an eye pin rather. But we're going to go, you know, usually we do our eye pins about here. We're going to go way up here on our pliers. Way up here at the very top, because we want a big loop here. We want a big eye pin. So, but we are going to turn it just like you normally would your eye pin, you know. And then we'll have this fun little funky P shape that always reminds me of my beloved Philadelphia Phillies. Shout out, hometown shout out. Okay, you're going to slightly break the neck, and then you'll have this beautiful thing. Just a beautiful eye pin. And then we are going to open that eye pin. And we are going to attach it to our Lotus. It doesn't matter, front or back. However it will go in. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and close that. Making sure that is nice and close. I guess it would look nicer if the split was in the back, but... I think I'm just going to switch it. I don't like that. I know you shouldn't open this a million times, but Call was not happy with that. There we go. It just was like, no, Call, that's not right. Don't do that. See, guys, sometimes I want to be lazy, but I won't let myself. Because then if I let myself be lazy, then I'll be lazy all the time. All right, so this is what we have. And then I'm going to take this little 4mm. And guys, you could use any bead here, but this is what I'm going to do. Now, this is where it gets fun because we want to make this loop going the opposite way of this loop because our ear wire is also facing that direction. So if we were to make the same facing loop, then we would not, our flower would be sideways, which is fine if that's what you like to do. I don't judge nobody. But this is kind of a little finicky here. Guys, just be, you know, be graceful because we do have a bicone up here. So I'm just going to very gently hold this here, give myself a little grace, and chomp down. Right. Making that bend, and we want to make sure that is perpendicular. And if it's not, again, we can always kind of go in there and fix it up. Now we're going to cut ourselves to about 1/4 inch. And then we're going to wrap her up. Oh, this is the 20 gauge wire, so I like to use these little bit beefier ones. I'm just weird that way. And I'm holding the bicone as I'm just wrapping our loop here. Right. Ooh, I don't really have to fix this one, not much. This one came out really good. Haha, look at that. Okay, now I am going to put my pliers, actually here in the load in this bottom. And I'm going to get my other pliers, if I can find them. And I'm going to make sure this is in the cross position. This is right now it is not. So I'm going to take this plier and I'm just going to simply make myself a cross. Okay? And that's going to fix up what we need to fix up. Well, it was supposed to. I don't know what happened there. Let's try that again, my friends. It did not cross the way I wanted it to. Okay. If this is the part that hangs me up on all of this, I'm going to be so mad. All right, so this is what we need. We need this one to go this way, and then this one needs to go across like that. There we go. Now she's perfect. And then we just have to put our ear wire on. You can open that back up. I'm just going to open the ear wire because I don't want to mess with that loop anymore. I think she's had enough stress today. Okay, making sure we are putting that on there. Closing our ear wire. And there we have our beautiful Lotus drop earrings. I guess you could use a 24 gauge wire here. I think that hole's a little bit small for this wire because it does keep getting like kind of, I don't know, hung up there, but I think they're a beautiful pair of earrings nonetheless. Uh-oh. Like I said, you really can't see all the wire wrapping, like the little swirls and stuff, but maybe if you did a different color wire, you could really get those swirls and stuff in there. All right, guys. So I'm going to need you to vote. This is earring number 3. Earring number 1, we have our April showers. I feel like this was 10 hours ago. There's our April showers. And then earring number 2 is our Tennessee thunderclouds. And then, of course, our gorgeous lotuses. You guys decide. Let me know which ones you like the most. Yeah, and we had so much fun today. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'm probably going to be back a little bit later after dinner because I have this big box of love from Miss Regina that we need to open. But until then, I hope you are out there planting your magical beans, my friends. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.